Born into nobility in Wayrest, the Dark Lady herself was certainly Breton, always turning her nose upward to commoners and beggars. In fact, they disgusted her. She only cared about herself and how much gold she had to spend. Most thought her vile to the core, while others thought her to be a true Breton. She once had a beggar barely graze her in passing and thought it prudent to teach him a lesson. But one thing was certain: her vanity and the size of her coin purse were all she cared about. She was spoiled, to be sure, would only wear the best and latest fashions, drink the best wines, eat the finest foods, and had to have the most expensive of all items. Once, she summoned tailors from all around Tamriel so each could make her something unique to wear, and if they did not deliver, well, you can imagine what happened. Her mother didn't care for the way she acted at times, and her father just wanted what was best for his little girl. And with both parents busy with business and the like, they really didn't have time for a proper upbringing. Generally, any gifts given, almost always, was met with the same response: "Is that all?" Though her personality left much to be desired, she was quite intelligent and ambitious. She strived to be stronger, faster, and smarter than your average person. She was quite skilled in the use of magic and with a blade, though she didn't care much for combat unless it suited her needs. Her father paid for the best scholars to teach her all that she needed to know, and sometimes would drop by to see how the progress was coming along and to make sure he didn't waste coin on unqualified candidates. While walking in the courtyard of the castle, she happened upon a strange gentleman at a party her family had planned. Some business venture celebration, she supposed, though she cared nothing for it. He had flamboyant clothes and this odd cane that he carried with him. She thought to herself that he must be very rich, and decided to go talk to said gentleman. All she really remembers of that time is that he was muttering something about cheese and unicorns. Since that night, many people have started to question her sanity, and at times she would mutter to herself and yell at someone in her room when no one was there. More often than not, though, she seemed the same, completely normal. Over time, however, it changed. She argued more with some unseen force, seemed more distant than she normally was, had fits of rage when unprovoked, and developed an awkward fascination with cabbage, going so far as to establish a family of cabbage in her bedchambers. Her father and mother were worried enough to summon a healer to figure out what was happening. The healer sent was an elderly woman. She looked very experienced. After a few hours of examination, she determined that there was nothing physically wrong, and apparently there was no sign of mental instability either. In fact, the healer stated she is probably the healthiest Breton in High Rock, and that she needed to possibly go outside and socialize more. Taking the healer's word as divine law, her parents thought nothing more of it, and tried to get her to go out more and socialize. Soon after, she made the decision to start traveling on her own, regardless of her parents' protest to such a thing, especially in her state. She made it very clear that she was plenty old enough and capable of doing this, and doing it by herself. After much debate on the matter, her parents finally gave in, hoping it would do her some good and fix the issues going on, and allotted her with plenty of coin to do as she wished. She then booked passage on a ship that was headed for Skyrim, and set out on her first adventure of what these new places had to offer her. While not a truly evil character, the Dark Lady is entirely driven by her self-absorbed sense of entitlement, as well as her ever-growing madness, and as such, has no qualms to cross the line into that which others may consider sinister, if and when it fits her needs. If you choose to become involved in the Civil War, you can side with either faction, if only for her amusement in causing chaos during the war, not out of concern for the actual outcome. The Dark Lady can pursue the primary questline as well as Dragonborn only for her own selfish amusement. but the primary quest line is best pursued only up to the point when you would normally travel to Sovngarde, but not actually completed. The reasoning behind this being that the Dark Lady does not care at all for the fate of Nirn, and finds the chaos caused by Alduin and his dragons amusing. To this same end, she will join the Volokar vampire in the Dawnguard questline, simply to see the mayhem caused by the vampire menace. While this choice means you will become a vampire, you will ultimately cure this condition. Likewise, you are free to join the companions, but will elect not to become part of the inner circle and thus a werewolf. The purpose behind not keeping these powers lies within the Dark Lady's vanity, seeing these changes are a bastardization of her beauty, due to her lack of compassion, as well as her madness causing her to find the suffering of others amusing. She will also join both the Thieves Guild and the Dark Brotherhood. All other side quests, as well as Daedric quests, can be chosen or not at your own discretion, but we would advise, at the least, that you do pursue Azura's quest in order to obtain the Black Star. While the Dark Lady is plenty proficient with the blade, her true strength lies in her intelligent use of her magic, using melee combat to finish off foes where necessary or when in close quarters. Your approach to combat will begin with the summoning of your Storm Thralls, allowing you to keep enemies at a distance and blast them with your destruction spells. Should you wish, or need to, engage the enemy head-on, you will use your elemental spells to augment your weapon, and apply Stormcloak to yourself before moving in for the kill. Should you need to put distance between you and the enemy, you can use the Become Ethereal Shout to retreat, and heal once it wears off, or use the Bend Will Shout to turn enemies on one another temporarily to buy yourself some time. Smart use of the Drain Vitality can be used to further weaken foes, and be sure to make use of the powerful Stormcall Shout when outdoors, especially when in combat with multiple enemies or dragons. As a Breton, you will have 25% increased magic resistance. You will also receive plus 10 to Conjuration, plus 5 to Alchemy, Alteration, Illusion, Restoration, and Speech, the most important of which are the bonuses to Conjuration and Restoration. You will also have access to the racial powered Dragon Skin, which will absorb 50% of magicka from hostile spells for 60 seconds once a day. For your Guardian Stone early game, you will take the Mage Stone. Increasing the speed, you increase your magical skills by 20%. In game, you will take the Lady Stone, increasing your health and stamina regeneration by 25%. Your stat spread will be 30% health, 20% stamina, and 50% magicka. Your primary skills will be Destruction, Conjuration, Enchanting, and One-Handed, with Light Armor, Smithing, and Restoration as secondary skills. Before we go over the gear, remember, this is a modded build, and every piece of gear you will use is modded gear. All required mods will be covered in the final section of this video. For gear, you will use Imar's Edge, Paragon Amethyst Circlet Silver, Paragon Amethyst Earrings Silver, Paragon Amethyst Necklace Silver, Silver Amethyst Ring, Vampire Leather Armor Short, Vampire Leather Boots, and Vampire Leather Bracers. Important enchantments for the build include Fortify Destruction, Fortify Conjuration, Fortify One-Handed, Fortify Magicka, Fortify Magicka Regen, Fortify Light Armor, and Fortify Stamina Regen. Of these enchantments, your priority should be on Fortify Destruction, Fortify Light Armor, Fortify Magicka Regen, and Fortify One-Handed. Your favorited spells will be Lightning Cloak, Lightning Storm, Storm Thrall, Thunderbolt, and all Dark Souls 3 weapon spells. Favorited shouts will be Become Ethereal, Bend Will, Drain Vitality, and Stormcall. Favorited powers will be Heartbreaker and Dragon Skin. For the Black Books, you will take Secret of Sorcery, Moro's Boon, Seeker of Sorcery, Lover's Insight, and Secret Servant. For perks, you will take the following. In light armor, you will take 5 points in Agile Defender, giving you 100% increased armor rating for light armor. In one-handed, you will take 5 points in Armsman, increasing one-handed weapon damage by 100%, Fighting Stance, making one-handed power attacks take 20% less stamina, Savage Strike, causing standing power attacks to do 25% more damage with a chance to decapitate enemies, and Paralyzing Strike, giving your backwards power attacks a 25% chance to paralyze enemies. In smithing, you will take Steelsmithing, allowing you to create the associated types and improve them twice as much, and Arcane Blacksmith, allowing you to upgrade enchanted equipment. In Destruction, you will take Novice, Apprentice, Adept, Expert, and Master Destruction, reducing the cost of associated spells by 50%. Destruction Dual Casting, allowing you to overcharge spells, casting more powerful versions using both hands. Impact, causing most destruction spells to stagger enemies when dual cast. 2 points in Augmented Shock, causing shock spells to deal 50% more damage, and Disintegrate, allowing shock damage to disintegrate foes if their health is low. In Conjuration, you will take Novice, Apprentice, Adept, Expert, and Master Conjuration, reducing the cost of associated spells by 50%. Conjuration Dual Casting, allowing you to overcharge spells, casting more powerful versions using both hands. 2 points in Summoner, allowing you to summon Atronachs and raise dead enemies 3 times as far away. Atromancy, doubling the duration of summoned Atronachs. Elemental Potency, making conjured Atronachs 50% more powerful, and Twin Souls, allowing you to summon 2 Atronachs or raise 2 enemies at a time. In Restoration, you will take Novice, Apprentice, Adept, Expert, and Master Restoration, decreasing the cost of associated spells by 50%. Restoration Dual Casting, allowing you to overcharge spells, casting more powerful versions using both hands. 2 points in Recovery, making Magicka recharge 50% faster. Avoid Death, allowing you to automatically heal 250 hit points once a day if your health falls below 10%. Regeneration, making your healing spells cure 50% more health. And Respite, causing healing spells to also restore stamina. And finally, in Enchanting, you will take 5 points in Enchanter, making new enchantments to be 100% stronger. Insightful Enchanter, making skill enchantments on armor 25% stronger. Corpus Enchanter, making health, stamina, and magicka enchantments on armor 25% stronger, and Extra Effect, allowing you to place 2 enchantments on any item. Since this is a modded build, the mods are all important. As such, you will require the following mods, all of which will be linked in the video description. Imar's Edge, Ashara Paragon Jewelry, Dark Souls 3 Weapon Spells, Heartbreaker, and Vampire Leather Armor Set. The Vampire Leather Armor Set mod will require a body replacer to use, and is specifically designed for UNP bodies, but also works with the Seraphim Female Body Replacer. Depending on the body replacer you use, you may also need an equivalent skeleton to go with it. Be sure to check the description of the body replacer you use to make sure you have this. In our playthrough, and in the video, we used the Seraphim Female Body Replacer TBBP edition and XP32 Maximum Skeleton. Well guys, that does it for another Skyrim Special Edition build video here on MasterQuest Gaming. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to give us a like. Let us know what you think about this build in the comments below, or builds that you may want to see in the future. And don't forget to blast that subscribe button into the realm of cheese! Oblivion! Thank you guys for watching. I've been Lady Gothica. Happy questing, everybody.